Danielle Barnett, former UT Dallas student athlete, and I am working as a firefighter paramedic in Pargo County, Florida.
As a firefighter paramedic, protocols I'm sure have been enhanced over the past several months for you. You've been called upon things that you may not thought you would see. Can you describe the experiences that you've had as a paramedic and how they've been affected by the pandemic?
Sure. Protocols have definitely come out and been put in place since all of this started. My county is fortunate enough to have an infection control officer with a doctorate who specializes in this kind of stuff. So I feel like we may have had a leg up on some of the other departments in the area. First and foremost, when all this first came out, we wore masks to everything. And then as things developed, protocols were put in place for when we go into nursing homes, when we run on certain respiratory calls, certain PPE we have to wear, wearing gowns, wearing goggles, wearing hair protection, coming back and deconning the units and showering after every call. That involves the possible COVID exposure. So there's definitely been a lot of things put in place and a lot of changes that we're dealing with.
We here in Texas, we're dealing similarly with Florida on a re-spike of cases over the past month or so. Can you talk about, maybe give an example of experience you've had that shows the severity of this pandemic, and are people in Florida beginning to take this serious again?
I didn't realize how serious it was until one call that I got a few weeks ago. I actually transported a positive patient who had no previous medical history. She was only 42 years old, not a smoker, looked like she could have competed in the CrossFit Games. And between Thursday when she got tested and Saturday when I picked her up, she could not breathe. She was gasping for air the whole way to the hospital. I think that was the first time that I really realized this, it affects everybody. It doesn't matter what your age, what your race, whatever. It can make people really, really sick, and it doesn't have to just be someone that's old with previous illnesses.
Many firefighters and paramedics are being called upon to assist in the testing process. Can you talk about your experiences in Florida with the testing?
Absolutely. We do have a site up in Pargo County at one of the local high schools. Originally, they had just requested 4 volunteers for a drive-through testing site, but because the magnitude of people that were showing up went from 100 to 200 to 300 to even 400 people a day driving through. We now have 5 people out there Monday through Friday. It's a drive-through testing site, and the last time I worked there a few weeks ago, we did 415 tests in 5 hours.
Collegiate athletics is having an overhaul right now. The students right now going through this, they may have had in the springtime their season cut short. Here in the fall, they're having their seasons delayed. Can you put yourself in their shoes and how that would have affected you as a student athlete, maybe your final year being cut short? And what kind of advice would you give to today's college athlete on what it's going to be like for them in the long run?
Personally, if I was going through this right now as a college athlete and my season was cut short or eliminated altogether, I would be absolutely devastated. Probably the only reason I went to college was so that I could keep playing basketball because I just loved it so much. My only advice is stay strong. I know there are a ton of companies out there working on vaccines. Hopefully something promising comes along and eventually life can get back to some type of normalcy.